Hey there, coin lovers. Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, make sure to subscribe and hit the bell so you never miss a coin collecting tip. Today, we're diving into the world of Jefferson nickels, specifically, the top 2 rare and expensive ones that could be worth thousands. Today, we're focusing on something that could very well be sitting in your pocket change right now, waiting to be discovered, the 1973 D Jefferson nickel. This coin may seem pretty ordinary at first glance, but trust me, it's far from it. In fact, it's one of the most valuable and rare Jefferson nickels out there, and it doesn't rely on a minting error to fetch its high price. Instead, its value comes from something even more fascinating: scarcity and demand. So, what makes this coin so special? Well, let's dive in and explore why the 1973 D Jefferson nickel is a true gem in the world of coin collecting. First, let's take a closer look at the 1973 D Jefferson nickel. At first glance, it may seem like just another standard 5-cent piece, but when you start digging into its history, things get a lot more interesting. The 1973 D Jefferson nickel was produced at the Denver Mint, and here's where things start to get a little more intriguing. Unlike other years, the 1973 D didn't circulate widely, and the total number of these coins minted was relatively low. Why? Well, there were several factors at play. For starters, the mint didn't produce as many Jefferson nickels that year as it did in other years, meaning fewer of them were put into circulation. The coin was also released during a time when the U.S. economy was experiencing a lot of changes. With rising inflation, the mint had to adjust its production plans. As a result, the number of 1973 D nickels produced was significantly lower compared to other years in the 1970s. Because of this, the 1973 D didn't make its way into general circulation as widely as other coins from the same era. And here's where it gets really interesting for collectors. Since fewer of these coins were released into circulation, many of them were either lost, damaged, or simply never saved by collectors. And over the decades, the ones that did survive have often been in less than ideal condition, worn, scratched, or just generally beaten up by years of circulation. That's why finding one of these coins in pristine, uncirculated condition is such a big deal. In fact, when you find a 1973 D Jefferson nickel that's in near-mint condition, it's like striking gold in the world of coin collecting. Uncirculated specimens, with no signs of wear, no discoloration, and no scratches, are extremely rare. And when you look at the demand from collectors, that's where the value really starts to soar. You might be wondering, how much could one of these nickels be worth? Well, in general, a 1973 D Jefferson nickel in good or fine condition might be worth just a few dollars, maybe $5 to $10 at most, depending on where it's sold and who's buying. But once you start getting into higher grade coins, the value starts to rise significantly. For example, if you have a 1973 D that's in extremely fine condition, you might be looking at a coin worth $50 or more. But the real magic happens when you find one of these nickels in uncirculated condition, something that's never been used in daily transactions and has been kept in perfect shape for decades. So, just how much could an uncirculated 1973 D Jefferson nickel be worth? Well, it could range anywhere from a few $100s to an incredible $10,000 or more. Yes, you heard that right, $10,000. And that's not just some wild guess. There have been instances where these coins have sold at auction for impressive amounts, especially when they're in perfect condition and professionally graded. But remember, not every 1973 D will fetch that price. It all depends on the condition. An uncirculated coin with sharp, clean details and no signs of wear is what collectors are after. So if you think you've got one of these beauties, it's worth getting it professionally graded to understand its true market value. Professional grading is key when determining the true worth of a coin. Services like PCGS or NGC are experts at evaluating coins and assigning a grade based on their condition. If your 1973 D Jefferson nickel is graded as MS 65 or higher, then you're in for a serious payday. Keep in mind, the grading scale goes from poor, P1, to mint state, MS 70, with MS 65 being a high mark for a coin that is essentially as good as new. A coin graded at this level is about as close to perfection as you can get. But it's not just the grade that drives the price up, it's also the rarity. Fewer of these coins were minted, and fewer still have survived in top-notch condition. And that makes them highly sought after by serious collectors who specialize in the Jefferson nickel series or who are just looking to add a rare, high-value coin to their collection. When you take into account how few of these 1973 D. Jefferson nickels are still in excellent condition, it's no surprise that they can go for big money. As a collector, you're always looking for the next great find, and the 1973 D is one of those coins that's definitely on the radar of many seasoned numismatists. But, you might be wondering, how can you tell if a 1973 D. Jefferson nickel is worth anything special? Well, look for signs of wear and tear, and keep an eye out for those nickels that are in mint condition, shiny, with sharp details and no damage. Don't be afraid to take a closer look at each coin you come across. One of these could easily be worth a small fortune, especially if it's in the right condition. So, the next time you're going through your change or browsing through coin shops, keep an eye out for the 1973 D. Jefferson nickel. It's not a coin you come across every day, and when you do find one in great condition, it could be worth far more than just 5 cents. Whether you're a seasoned collector or a casual enthusiast, discovering a 1973 D. Jefferson nickel in pristine shape is like uncovering a hidden treasure. So, there you have it. The 1995 D. Jefferson nickel with its die clash error and the 1973 D. Jefferson nickel with its low mintage are two of the most expensive and rare Jefferson nickels out there. If you find either of these coins, be sure to give them a second glance. They could be worth thousands of dollars. If you enjoyed this video and want more tips on rare coins, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. Leave a comment below if you've ever found a rare coin or if you have any questions about coin collecting. Until next time, happy hunting, and keep your eyes peeled for those rare gems in your pocket change. The Jefferson nickel, that iconic 5-cent coin, has been a staple in American currency since 1938. Designed by Felix Schlag, it features the profile of Thomas Jefferson, the third President of the United States, on the obverse side. On the reverse, we have Jefferson's home, Monticello, an architectural masterpiece. But over the decades, there have been some incredible rarities, minting errors, and limited editions that have made certain Jefferson nickels not just collectible, but extremely valuable. Let's start with the 1995 D. Jefferson nickel, a coin that's famous for a minting error that makes it worth a ton of money. Now, the 1995 D may look like just another standard 5-cent coin, but it holds a fascinating secret that only a select few collectors are aware of. This coin is known for a die clash error, which is something that happens during the minting process. So, what exactly is a die clash? Let me break it down for you. A die clash happens when the obverse and reverse dies, the metal molds used to stamp the designs onto the coin, accidentally come into contact with each other without a coin in between. This contact causes part of the design from one die to imprint onto the other die. The result? A faint, ghostly image or outline left on the coin. On the 1995 D. Jefferson nickel, this die clash left behind visible markings on the reverse side of the coin, which collectors refer to as a striking error. It's subtle, but if you know what to look for, it's definitely there. Now, why is this so important? Well, collectors are always on the lookout for rare coins with minting errors, and the 1995 D die clash is one of the most highly sought-after errors among numismatists. It's not easy to spot these coins because the markings are so faint, but when you do find one, it's a gold mine. The rarity of this coin stems from the fact that only a few hundred, or maybe even fewer, of these 1995 D nickels were produced before the error was discovered and the dies were corrected. So, if you happen to find one of these in your pocket change, don't just toss it aside. Take a closer look. If you're lucky enough to find a 1995 D. Jefferson nickel with this die clash, you could be holding a coin worth as much as $5,000. That's right, in perfect condition, this coin can fetch top dollar at auction or be sold to a serious collector who's specifically seeking this rare error. It's a true treasure. But remember, the key to this coin's value lies in its condition. A coin with wear and tear will obviously be worth less than one in pristine, uncirculated condition, so always take care of your coins. And if you're ever unsure, it's always worth getting it professionally graded to determine its true value.